I 32M am in love with my former sister-in-law 27F. Part 3. Update 4. I spoke with her in September, and I intended to post an update on this, but life got in the way. I did write a 10-paragraph post about a month ago, but my laptop died and I lost everything, and I became disheartened. The ex-wife is doing much better and is on the mend. By this time, I'd been clean for 8 months. She ultimately revealed the specifics of the affair and how things transpired, as well as how she became involved with narcotics. Not what I wanted to hear, but she's trying to get her life together, and as much as I despise what she's done to me and the kids, I want her to be well. I shouldn't, yet I still worry about her. Anyway, when I finally told her about Sylvia and me, she was astounded. When I first met my ex, she was 19 and Sylvia was 14, and in her mind, she always viewed Sylvia as a kid in regards to me, which, to be fair, I did refer to Sylvia and her kid sister, but when she remembered that her sister is a fully grown adult who is married and has a child, her hinting that I was a creep stopped. She did question whether I had emotions for her when I was married, to which I said that I did not. We spoke about the kids, and she was really sorry and sobbing the whole time. She's not sure she'd be able to face them again. I wanted to say something comforting, but I didn't want to give her the sense that I wanted her to be a part of their lives. I'm polite, even pleasant, but I'm not foolish. She and Sylvia also spoke for a while. I didn't listen in on purpose, but based on what I heard and what I was informed, they were discussing Sylvia's husband. My ex had been caught for a BNE that week and had spent it in prison. She didn't even know he died until a few weeks after the burial, and by then she was afraid that saying anything would make things worse. Everything went as well as could be anticipated. Sylvia, the kids, and I have spent practically every day together, and I haven't been happier in years. My son and daughter have been enjoying all of the motherly care they've been receiving, and I've been enjoying learning more about my little niece. Everything is fine. It's hectic, but it's nice. Thank you for inquiring. I'm thinking about simply copying and pasting this as my update, haha. Okay, there was my comment update, and not much has changed in the week since I posted it. If anybody has any questions or comments, I'd be delighted to address them as soon as I can, but my workload rises dramatically during this season, and I don't have as much time to be on here as I had when I originally posted. I'm so pleased I had the courage to approach her. I'm madly in love with her. I've been so long without a romantic companion that I'd forgotten what it was like to be in love or to be loved. Now that I think about it, I'm surprised I didn't know how lonely and unhappy I was. For Christ's sake, we played Scrabble last night, and that made me extremely happy, haha. Update 5. We've been living together for a year now, and I couldn't be happier. We're presently living together and looking for a new place to live. Our children benefit much from having 2 parents to care for them. Our girls have started calling each other sisters, and my son is getting the same treatment. They are, in essence, ordinary siblings. It's fascinating for my kid. When he speaks to his classmates or teacher, he refers to Sylvia as his mother, but when he calls or speaks to her, he still refers to her as auntie, and our girls are the same as I'm uncle. Some people are perplexed by it, but it's always an intriguing tale to tell. We haven't had much communication with my ex-wife since my previous article, but she seems to be doing much better. Has a half-decent job, a boyfriend, and is trying to stay clean. I don't want to think of her being reintroduced into my children's life, but as she remains a clean and well-rounded person, it will be much more difficult for me to refuse her visitation if she requests it. Not just from a legal position, but also from a moral one. Sylvia and I are looking forward to that day, but our concerns seem unfounded. Her parents have ceased interfering in our affairs and have not attempted to reintroduce the ex into our life, as we had anticipated. Our children now spend the weekend with them, as my 2 did before. So Sylvia and I get to spend Friday night and most of Saturday going on dates and spending time alone. Our common friends were all taken aback by this and have been quite supportive. They try to be courteous and avoid bringing up my ex-wife, but it does come up from time to time. Most people are simply relieved that we found happiness together. The family of her late husband was one side of the family that I neglected to mention in all of this. Her daughter, as you would guess, still sees them on a daily basis, and they are extremely happy and tolerant of the connection. His father even told me flat out that he was relieved it was me, since he was afraid his daughter-in-law would bring some weird guy into his granddaughter's life. We haven't had many get-togethers due of COVID, but the ones that we have had have included them and will continue to include them. Sylvia and I have spoken a lot about our thoughts about her late husband, and she's even had me come along to one of her therapy sessions, because despite things going so well, and the enormous and amazing love we have for one another, his memory and presence will always be a part of our lives. She decided on her own that she needed to remove her wedding ring out of respect for me, which caused a lot of grief, as you can understand. I told her she didn't have to do this, and that if we were married, she'd have two hands. After I told her this, she started wearing it as a necklace instead. She is currently wearing an engagement ring. I don't have any amazing stories about how the engagement happened. I didn't pop the question in front of her in some huge, public spectacle. But there were tears and embraces and kisses. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you all so much for your kind words of support. Story 2. Cheated while I was in the hospital. I was released from the hospital 2 nights ago and immediately started weeping because I missed my companion so much. They were supposed to start boot camp on Tuesday, but I couldn't even contact them or spend any time with them for a week since I was in the hospital. I informed him the night I was hospitalized, and he said he'd contact me when I got out. And the final text I received from him read, "I love you and hope you're doing well." So, last night, I was hanging out with a friend, and I was showing her photographs of him from Instagram. So I decided to browse through his tagged photos and found a recent picture uploaded with him and this other female, labeled "Date with my baby," and he liked the post. So I messaged the girl to find out what was going on. Apparently, he's been cheating on me since the day of our anniversary. While I was planned a large present for our anniversary, he met her at work and asked for her picture and number. His supervisor, who knew me as his girlfriend, informed the girl that we'd been dating, and when she asked him about it, he claimed that I'd broken up with him because he was going to the military, and that was the end of that. I can't believe I spent so much money on this person. I believe they actually cared about me. We were even looking at rings, and he proposed to me while getting to know this new lady. Looking back on our relationship, we never argued, he never even raised his voice at me, and then I discovered he'd been cheating the whole time. I saw his mother and family, was at his home every other day, and all of my panties, bath supplies, and clothing are still there. She's been there before, but she didn't seem to notice anything. We spent Sunday night and Monday together the day before I went to the hospital. And I spent over $100 on this individual as a parting present before they had to depart for boot camp. Abe got them a collar and a necklace, and the following day he her and gave her the collar I bought for him, as well as the necklace he bought himself. Even the sweater I adored that I owed to him was given to this other girl. What hurts the most is that while I was in the hospital, the only thing that kept me going was knowing that I had a boyfriend back home who loved me and was waiting for me. Then I come back to find out that throughout the whole week, I felt bad for missing the date to see them before they went. They'd spent 5 days with that other female couple until he departed for South Carolina. He cheated on me while I was in the hospital, and that irritates me more than it pains. And now, unless I send him a letter, I can't contact him. I sent a letter to him a few days before I found out he cheated, saying I love you and everything, but I can't return it. I despise him so much that I can't believe I was prepared to drop out of college and marry him, following him across the nation, while he was telling another girl the same thing.